You've seen it plenty of times by now. Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. And time again, our favorite green-garnished gentleman has established his complete and utter dominance over his opponents by achieving countless victories without even lifting a finger. How? You may be asking yourself, how does this magnificent mustachioed man win by doing absolutely nothing? Yet, nobody ever asks why. Why does this passive, peaceful plumber just stand there doing absolutely nothing? Does he think himself better than everyone? Is nothing a challenge to him anymore? Just why?
Hey, buddy. You doing okay? What's the matter, man? Oh, that's rough. You want me to get the Lionel Richie CD? I'll go get the Lionel Richie CD.
Well, I guess this kind of thing happens to the best of us. But I know the perfect way to cheer Luigi up. We just need to throw him a big party. Get him a few wins, give him that big confidence boost. Everything should turn out perfectly fine. So let's give the big L a big W. See if that don't cheer him up. Wait, not that kind of W. Poor turn of phrase. I usually do a story section in these reviews, but Mario Party games don't really have much in terms of story. There was a Millennium Star in one of them, but I think he was like a fake one or something. And then there's like the Sun and the Moon people fighting over something, blah blah blah, a carnival guy with a big mouth. None of this is really that important. Mario Party Superstars is like a greatest hits collection of Mario Party games, and the hub area looks a lot like the one in the original Mario Party. But I don't exactly remember why everyone wanted to start throwing parties in the first place. Something about just being the superstar, and they'd somehow decide this through competitive party games. In either case, making Luigi the superstar, bound to cheer him back up. He's just gotta get a win. But yeah, it's a party game. No story needed. It's not like you have to play every other Mario Party, or you'll be lost in the lore or something. Like I said, it's a party game. But not just any party game. This is a collection of game boards and minigames from across the Mario Party series. 5 game boards from Mario Parties 1 to 3, and 100 minigames from Mario Parties 1 to 10. Honestly, 5 game boards is kinda small. Even the first Mario Party had like 8 game boards. It's probably the biggest disappointment in the game for me. At least the boards they chose are very unique from each other. We have Yoshi's Tropical Island and Peach's Birthday Cake from Mario Party 1, Spaceland and Horrorland from Mario Party 2, and finally Woody Woods from Mario Party 3. Each board has its own gimmicks and twists. Yoshi's Tropical Island is split between 2 islands that are connected by bridges. The bridges are guarded by thwomps that charge a toll to pass. Spaceland centers itself around a big counter, and every time a player walks over the counter, it'll tick down. If this thing hits 0, it might be in for quite a shock. Peach's Birthday Cake has players climbing to the top of a delicious dessert, while setting traps for each other along the way. If you're lucky enough, you might even get to visit the Bowser Tart. Woody Woods is like a maze, and each crossroads that you come across will change the direction you're allowed to travel with each turn, unless you land on some special spaces or grab the bowls. And finally, Horrorland has a day and night cycle, with different events and opportunities only being available depending on the time of day. You navigate these boards by rolling dice as you try to make your way to Toadette in order to purchase a star. The person with the most stars at the end wins. Simple, but anything can happen between the start and end of the game. Items give you an edge in navigating these boards, and the items available can change depending on what board you're playing on. For example, Mario Party 1 didn't have these special doors, and so in those game boards, you don't run into any skeleton keys to get past those doors. After all players have made their actions, the turn will conclude with a minigame. And the winner of that minigame gets some extra coins. And so now we finally get to talk about the minigames. There are 100 of these magnificent little marvels for you to enjoy. As some of these games are classics that really needed to be in a collection like this. The Mushroom Mix-Up and Shy Guy Says are some of my favorite minigames from the whole series. And then you've also got some more meh minigames like Puddle Paddle, but yeah, at least the nightmare of a game that was Paddle Battle is nowhere to be seen. Minigames range from pure luck to pure skill. And if you're not a fan of certain minigames, you can choose a set of minigames to appear when you start a party. 100 minigames didn't seem like a whole lot to me at first, But once you realize that the average party is about 15 turns, that's a minimum of 15 minigames out of 100 for a whole round of Mario Party. So it took quite a while for me to even encounter all the minigames from just playing the regular party mode. And thankfully, if there is a specific minigame you'd like to play, you can just take a quick visit to Mount Minigames. Here you can play all the minigames you like in a few different modes. If you're just looking to polish up those skills, this is a great way to do it. They've made a few changes to the minigames and boards though. The original Mario Party was pretty unforgiving actually. You'd lose coins and stars constantly. In Superstars, they've made it kind of hard to even get a tie in a lot of minigames. And when you do, usually everyone gets something rather than nothing. The Bowser Tart in Peach's birthday cake would usually devastate any player that was unlucky enough to be sent there. Now, they changed where it leads, and it acts as kind of a shortcut back to the star. Sure, you still have to get past Bowser, but like I said, he's much more forgiving now than he was in the original game. Dizzy dancing used to be like a 2-second minigame when you were good at it in Mario Party 2, because all you had to do was collect the music note thingy in the middle and then you'd win. But now they changed it so that more music note thingies appear after the first one is collected, and so whoever collects the most by the end wins. You see, most of these changes that they made only really seem to rebalance and improve upon the original materials. Sure, I'll miss things like the genie lamp, which has been replaced by the golden pipe. They serve the exact same purpose, but kind of like the whole theme around the genie. And they removed Game Guy and the Mario Party 3 board, so now I can't risk all my coins just to win 999 of those bad boys back and completely dominate the game. But I think most of the changes made only serve to improve upon the experience. And there's even an online mode in this Mario Party, and it works surprisingly well. If players can communicate with stickers, and because of this, there usually isn't much toxicity. Now, when you're playing with people locally, there's going to be tons of toxicity, because whoever's playing Yoshi just landed on Chance Time and stole your stars, and they just happen to be within punching distance. But other than that, these Mario Party games are always better experienced with friends, and it's great that I can connect to them online. I haven't experienced any major issues connecting with other players, and you can even reconnect to a game if you happen to drop out. At the very least, it's a much better online experience than Super Mario Party. Speaking of Super Mario Party Superstars pretty much just reuses many of its assets from Super Mario Party. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the game does look pretty good. That being said, we have a good frame of reference here, since every minigame and board has appeared in a previous Mario Party title. You can just compare what things used to look like and see how they've decided to improve upon it. For the most part, I believe they've done an amazing job. Just take a look at how flat Woody Woods was in its original form, and how they've added so much more detail and elevation to it in Superstars. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the classics, but I do kind of think there's something lost in the modernization of these old graphics. Take bumper balloon cars, for example. In the original, characters were just these giant heads sticking out of these tiny cars, and it had this fun and unique charm. Now you can see the character is just sitting there in their vehicle, body and all. I'm not taking away points for this, I just really thought the big heads were funny. Visuals aside, what really tickles the nostalgia bone is the music. They've got remixes for everything here. And since you have minigames from Mario Party 1 to 10, they include songs from all those games. I understand making remixes of the old Mario Party songs, but they've even done it for the more recent ones as well. All the classic board themes have remixes, and those remixes have remixes. Of course, you can also unlock the original versions of these songs if you prefer. I've got a heavy bias here, but I've always loved the music in Mario Party. Songs like Let's Go Lightly always awaken some of my fondest childhood memories, and even the songs that have the exact opposite effect are still a joy to listen to.
Here comes a new challenger!
The challenge, as always, was a simple one. Luigi just needed to win a round of Mario Party. The catch being, he does absolutely nothing. Well, he does need to do something, actually, so let's define nothing. On the board, Luigi needs to push the A button to confirm things. However, to keep in the spirit of doing nothing, he's just going to mash A without making other decisions. So if he can choose to go left or right on a path, he's going to go with whatever the path defaults to. If he passes a shop, he's going to mash A and buy the first item on the menu, pass Boo and he steals coins from the first player, yada yada, you get the idea. In mini games, he does nothing, as you'd expect. I played 3 rounds of Mario Party and had different strategies going into each of them. The first was on Yoshi's Tropical Island, with the reason being that the star only moves between 2 locations. Once Luigi comes to a crossroads, he enters the island on the right and stays there, just looping around. Boo also happens to be on this island, so as long as nobody moves the star, Luigi loops around over and over, stealing coins and buying stars. This strategy only revolves around Luigi rolling high and the star not moving. He wouldn't even need to win minigames here, which was a very good thing, considering he wasn't doing too well in that department. His strategy, it fell apart pretty quickly, actually, once the star moved. Bowser sold Luigi a waste of an item. Then Luigi lands on a Bowser space and loses another 15 coins. And then on the next turn, Toad says, "Hey, you should try using that," referring to the item that Luigi got ripped off on. So the option defaulted to using the item on himself. There was a few minigames Luigi came close to winning. For others, I can only blame it on his teammates. Despite doing nothing, he always seemed to have this fierce determination in his eyes. And sometimes it paid off. Most of the time it didn't. But Luigi wasn't out of the game yet. Thanks to chance time and this hidden block, Luigi shot up to first place on the second last turn. I mean, he could do this. He could really why? So we add Yoshi to the hit list, and despite Luigi's non-efforts, he still couldn't win. At least he wasn't last place. Round 2 took place on Peach's birthday cake, with a little twist actually. This time I was playing online with other people. I was hoping they might take pity on Luigi. The reason I picked Peach's birthday cake was because the star doesn't move. You just need to roll high and get a lot of coins. I was also hoping Luigi would place some traps to get some coins on the way, but I don't think he ever got the chance to place even one of them. He did his best at doing nothing, and obviously that wasn't good enough to get him any solid victories. At some point, Daisy just gave up with him. And our boy really needed those coins too, since he kept getting sent over to the Bowser tart. Chance time only made the gap between first and last place bigger, but just when all seemed hopeless, Luigi caught a break.
Start.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Of course, that break didn't last forever. The prediction was made in the final 5 turns that Luigi would win. I know, it's a pretty safe bet to make. The golden pipe they gave him was pretty to look at, I guess. Not like he was going to make any use out of it. The only way Luigi could pull out a victory now was chance time. And Daisy knew exactly what she was doing here. She was willing to take the gamble. We just had to believe in it. Oh. Huh. Adding Daisy to the hit list. There was no chance at victory now. Luigi just had to lose a few mini games and let the game be done with. You know, I was never good at this puzzle mini game, because when you... What? Wait, what? He's doing it. He's actually doing it. I think I just found my new strategy for that game. Yeah, anyways, yeah, it was a valiant non-effort once again. And yeah, Luigi still lost. I had one last plan to put into action. And this time, I would infiltrate the game myself and sabotage everyone else so Luigi could win. We played on Woody Woods, 1 because I wanted to have a new board, and 2 because Luigi's path would be decided for him most of the time. There wasn't much I could do in some minigames, but for others I had a decent amount of control. I was earning Luigi quite a few wins here and there. If I couldn't get him the win, I could usually force a tie. Other times I just had to wait. Every 2v2 minigame we had was always me and Donkey Kong versus Luigi and Wario for some reason. There was a lot of these, oddly enough. My efforts weren't in vain, as Luigi had been the first person to get a star that game. And DK wasn't far behind, so I had this genius strategy. Steal his star, then lose the star to Bowser. I ended up with Bowser Communism instead. There was one minigame I thought was in the bag for Luigi, until I accidentally hit the joystick on my controller and won. Whoops. Towards the end of the game, the other computers had started buying golden pipes and were catching up pretty fast. Luigi was just barely pulling ahead. To keep Wario behind, I dueled him for all his coins and won. At the end of the game, Luigi was in first place going into the bonus stars. If bonus stars were turned off, this would have been it. This would have been the victory right here. Unfortunately, I played a bit too well myself. It was between me and Luigi for first place, and I won. Which means I lost. I tried so hard to get someone else to win, but I just couldn't lose? Yet, maybe my hard work and effort was enough after all. I think I managed to reach Luigi, and he seems to be doing a lot better for himself. I think I helped show him that he's still got a lot going for him, and that maybe all that effort isn't pointless. If I could put on all that effort to get Luigi to win, why couldn't he do it for himself? He just needed someone to not give up on him. Give him that little push. And I think we managed to do that.
Well, you're looking better already. What's got you so happy? Oh no. He's relapsing. Mario! He's doing it again!
Okay, I know what you're thinking. You didn't complete the challenge? This is a cop-out. And you're right. I'm planning a follow-up video for this one, since I really want to see if Luigi can get a win online. But I thought this may take a while, and I didn't want this video to be overly long. That being said, it's time for some stats. Not counting the coin minigames, where everyone technically wins, Luigi won 3 minigames on his own. Those being Boulder Ball, Squared Away, and Puzzle Party, oddly enough. With my help, he won another 4 minigames. Those ones were Tug of War, Snowball Summit, Mush Pit, and Storm Chasers. He would have also won Skewer Scurry, but I got fat fingers, I guess. So 7 minigames total, out of like the 50 plus minigames we played. Not too bad. He took 3rd place, then last, then 2nd. Every Luigi has his day. It's only a matter of time for this guy. Speaking of places, it's about time we took a look at the leaderboard and give Mario Party Superstars its place. I've got to acknowledge that I really love the Mario Party series, and my opinion will be slightly biased in its favor. Just keep that in mind when I give this game a 2nd place rating on this leaderboard. You see, my only major complaint with this Mario Party is the lack of different game boards. The ones they chose are pretty great, but if you play Mario Party enough like I do, you can get a little burnt out on these. I really do appreciate that each board feels very unique, not just aesthetically speaking, but gameplay-wise as well. There's the potential for more boards as DLC, but if Super Mario Party is anything to go by, I'm not holding my breath. If they do add more boards, it would be nice to see things from Mario Party 4 and onwards. They could really change the items for these boards too. You know, add things like the capsule mechanics. The 100 minigames is the sweet spot though. It's not too much or too little, and they picked practically all the greatest hits. I like being able to pick a minigame pack just before jumping into a party as well. It's a nice quality of life feature. The balance changes made to the boards and minigames feel more than justified, and I believe they improve upon the experience. I think this may be my favorite Mario Party ever, and it's by far the easiest to play with friends due to the online functionality. Whether alone or with friends, I still managed to have tons of fun with this game, and I highly recommend giving it a shot. Hey, just real quick, if you enjoyed this video, thanks, it really does mean a lot. I am planning a follow-up video to finish off this challenge and see if Luigi can get a win online. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, thank you for making it this far. As always, I appreciate you and everything you do. Ciao.